Smashy Smashy 16 here, and today we're making some holiday-themed Spritz cookies using this Simple Success Wilton cookie press. Now, when they say Simple Success, they aren't lying. This is one of the easiest cookie presses I've ever used, and I've used quite a few. I will be showing you guys how to use it step by step later on in the video. But before we do that, I'll show how to make the dough and a bit about how to dye the dough and what type of food coloring to use, as well as what the cookies should look like once they're pressed on the cookie sheet. So let's get right on to finding out the ingredients. For the Spritz cookie dough, you will need 3 cups of all-purpose flour, as well as 1.5 cups of butter, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and half a teaspoon of almond extract, 1 egg, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 2 tablespoons milk, and 1 cup of granulated sugar. First thing you want to do is combine your 2 dry ingredients, your flour and baking soda, together in a bowl. This helps remove and prevent any lumps. For the next step, put your butter into a stand mixer and turn it on to high speed. With your butter still in the mixing bowl, add in your sugar and cream them together. Put this on high speed so it'll go quicker. After 2 minutes of mixing, this is what the butter and sugar should look like. Add 1/4 of the flour into the butter and sugar mixture. Add another 1/4 into the mixture. Continue adding quarters until all of your flour is in the bowl. Adding the flour slowly helps the dough mix properly. This is what your dough should look like after all the flour has been added. You should continue to mix the dough until it's like a stiff Play-Doh texture. Now we're going to get into how to dye the dough. I suggest using some liquid food coloring first, and then if that isn't enough, add in some gel food coloring. Same with green. You can dye them any color you want, but since it's Christmas, I chose red and green. The red turned out a bit nicer because the green was a bit streaky, so if you do use 2 different types of food coloring, make sure they're the exact same shade. So now we're getting into how to use the Wilton cookie press. The first thing you want to do is remove the white part at the bottom of the press. This reveals the part that will push down the dough. Next, in order to raise the bottom part that pushes the dough, turn the top purple knob so that the arrow is pointing away from the handle. You can then pull up and it will open up the bottom of the cookie press. Next, grab the white part that you screwed off in the beginning. This is the part that will hold the shape plate that will push out the different shapes of cookies. The disc itself has little notches, so make sure you match them up with the little indents inside of the white part. Once the plate is in place, double check to make sure all the notches are matched up. Now you can re-screw on the white part back onto the cookie press. And voila! Your cookie press is ready to use. Now that I've gone over the basics, roll your dough into a log and shove it into the cookie press. Now that your dough's in, screw back on the white piece. Once everything's ready to go, turn the purple knob so that it's pointing towards the handle. Now here's the fun part. Squeeze the handle until the dough almost comes out of the bottom. Something very important to keep in mind is that you should put your cookies onto an ungreased, cooled baking sheet. Press the press all the way against the cookie sheet and press the handle. This will stamp out the cookies. The very first cookie press out might be a little messed up, but that's okay. It'll get better, that's just the dough trying to press to the cookie sheet. Continue stamping out cookies onto the cookie sheet until it's full. There's no maximum or minimum distance in between the cookies, so you can really fill up your cookie sheet. Ta-da! Here's some clips of me trying out different discs and different shapes for my cookies. This was a mixture of doughs I tried. I tried doing red and green holly. This batch didn't really turn out. Now I'm trying some red candy canes. As well as some green Christmas trees. Here's just a bit of a heads up to anyone who wants to use the Christmas tree disc. I found it doesn't really stamp that well, so I suggest cleaning it up afterwards with maybe a butter knife and just cleaning up the edges. Make sure your oven's at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Put your cookies in for at least 10 minutes. After 10-minute point, check your cookies to make sure they're not over browning. You really want your cookies to be almost white with a little bit of brown just on the edges. Once your cookies are all done baking, take them out of the oven and make sure they stay on the cookie sheet for at least 5 minutes. They will continue to cook on the cookie sheet, so make sure you don't take them off too soon or else they won't fully finish cooking. After 5 minutes, you can remove them and put them on a cooling rack. Here's the final product. I think they turned out really well. For the blue snowflakes, I sprinkled on some blue sugar just before baking so that I didn't have to do any decorating on the snowflakes afterwards. For the Christmas trees, I did a zigzag white icing on them and dipped them into some little circle sprinkles. For the candy canes, there were little divots after baking, so I outlined those with white icing to make it look like stripes. For the hollies, I just put some white icing on the little berries and then dipped them in red sugar. As well as the reindeer noses, I did the same thing. And then for the reindeer eyes, I just used black colored icing and made black little dots. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching my video on holiday Spritz cookies. I hope it was really helpful for you guys, and I hope it did an okay job on showing you guys how to use the Wilton Simple Success cookie press. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks!